My boyfriend and I planned to get married, but he still hasn't proposed.
It's kind of hard to get married when someone doesn't propose.
I, 23 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 25 male, for almost 6 years. This one's kind of a doozy, so I apologize. My boyfriend and I started dating my freshman year of college in 2017. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway Speechy on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Everything was going really well, and everything just fell into place. It just felt right until the pandemic hit in 2020, and we all got sent home to finish college virtually during my senior year. We have been in a long-distance relationship since, because I then began attending graduate school for speech therapy. To save money, I lived with my parents, and he lived with his, who lived 3 hours away from me. When the long distance began, my only ask of him was that we be married when I graduate in August 2023. In our families, it is super important that we are married before living together. You already know, purity culture crap. He saw this as reasonable and claimed it was something he really wanted. Then we could get married and get a place together once I'm done with school. Here is the dilemma. He still hasn't proposed yet, like we had agreed. He expressed that he was planning on talking to my parents to get their blessing before planning the proposal. He initiated a conversation with my parents about next steps in November 2022 and hasn't said anything up until last week. He's been at my house 3 times and never sought after opportunities to say something. He's putting it off, and there's only one reason why he would. It would be one thing if he had expressed that he wasn't ready for marriage, whether that be not being emotionally ready or financially ready, but he's been talking a lot about engagement for the last 2 years, getting my hopes up, and then nothing happens. One important thing to note is that he is an only child with a mom who has a meltdown when the idea of marriage or moving out is even mentioned.
Oh, okay. All right. There's the problem.
My boyfriend proposed, and it's like mom, his mom, his mom, and also his mom.
Oh, you forgot his mom is insano.
But his mom is, it's also the bonus space in the middle of the bingo
okay.
card.
Yeah.
Is his mom. She has been an issue throughout our entire relationship because she is constantly trying to create division between us, whether that is talking crap about him to me or vice versa. Yeah, down talking your own son, being like, you don't want to date this guy. He sucks. He's the worst. Trust me. I raised him. He's terrible.
Look at him. He won't even move out of his parents' house.
He has now begun expressing fears of leaving his parents when he's the only one there to take care of them.
How old are they? Are they like 80?
How old are they? He's afraid of what they'll think of him if he leaves for a career opportunity, or for me, who is seeking career opportunities in speech therapy in various locations. So really, I'm just going to pause really quick and say that if your parents want to make you feel guilty for like bettering your life or pursuing a career or like doing anything,
leaving the nest,
it's like you don't have to listen to that.
You don't. Yeah, that is
as long
crazy.
As you listen to your heart. If your heart's in the right place, you listen to that. On to his conversations with my parents, which is the biggest concern I'm having. First, he told my parents he was planning on proposing this summer. He then expressed that he was afraid of commitment and sacrifice. My dad asked him what he meant, to which he responded, well, I like my me time and my space to play video games and watch sporting events, which my parents give me. I'm scared to give that up for a wife or to help with kids.
It sounds like he's not ready for a relationship.
So after hearing that, this kind of broke me, because he would have never said anything like this before moving back home with his parents. He's extremely comfortable with his life and doesn't want to change it.
Ooh, that's also another red flag.
But I want to change mine. I want to move out and get an amazing speech therapy career opportunity when August rolls around. I want to get married and have kids. This was something I'd wanted to do with him, but with his unsupportive parents and some of the concerns he's expressing to everyone but me, I'm really scared to proceed with him and include him in things such as apartment or job hunting. Things haven't been the same as they were before we started long distance for a long time. I've been trying to remain optimistic through all of this in case things do go back to the way they were once we got a place together, but that optimism is fading. I thought I could have the best of both worlds, the career and the guy, but I'm stuck at a crossroads instead and am incredibly stressed and heartbroken. This is supposed to be an exciting time, but it's just dreadful because of all of this. Any thoughts? Please be brutally honest, especially if I could have proceeded differently with this.
All right, let's be as brutally honest as we can.
Do we do that at first or get brutally honest right now?
We'll get brutally honest. Dump him. He is a very comfortable, gonna stay as he wants POS.
I think you clearly need to meet face to face with this guy and try to have a conversation and be like, so what made you feel like you couldn't come to me with this stuff?
Yeah.
Because clearly you didn't. She said everybody seems to know about this except me. So why didn't you talk to me about it?
Babe, you never brought it up.
The main issue isn't that he hasn't proposed. If he had concerns about a marriage or wasn't ready, he needs to tell me. That he either hasn't told me or whenever I've asked, he brushes it off and says he wants to marry me anyway. My main issue is his consistency. He says one thing but doesn't demonstrate it through actions. I've had conversations with him about this, and he just says he'll try to do better. As far as the video games and sports go, I really try not to be nitpicky or controlling about what he does in his spare time or how much of it he does. I've been gaslit and hurt in previous relationships for being too controlling, so I try to be extra conscientious of that. I'm supportive of him hanging out with the boys and try to get to know them as well. Although these things aren't my go-tos, I try to watch sporting events with him and play video games with him to try to understand the hype. And by the way, you can understand this hype, that there are a bunch of stories, a nearly limitless well of stories just like this one that you can listen to. All you have to do is search OK Storytime on any of your preferred podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or even YouTube. Like, you can find us pretty much anywhere. All you got to do is search OK Storytime.
Yep. That's it.
Holy crap, y'all. It took me 4 months, but I did it. I ended it. Wow. It took you 4 months?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Hey. Better late than never.
Over the last 4 months, all of our relationship has been just talks of either marriage or engagement or taking me out on the town when he never actually does the things he says he'll do. Lots of gaslighting, manipulation, the works. Whenever I wanted to have a conversation about serious stuff like where to live, finances, kids, etc., he brushed it off like it was nothing. This was how I knew he was not planning for the future. Apparently, his parents know more about his financial situation than I do, which don't even get me started. I approached them about it, and they showed me how many loans he has.
Ooh, and guess what? If you get married, half of those loans are also yours.
No way. I didn't know that.
Nope.
Ooh. Oh, my God. And OP says they are astronomical. And he hadn't paid a dime since he graduated from college 4 years ago. Wow, all while having zero expenses. Nothing. This made me upset because not only did I have expenses, but I was working insane hours to pay for school and for my expenses, and he didn't make any attempts to have a stable, consistent job over the summer. At that point, I was done. Wow. I think we're all done. It took a lot of courage to leave, especially considering the problems with his mom. I thought she'd bite my head off for dumping her baby, LMAO. Well, it's a good thing she's not a praying mantis. She can't eat you. But I finally did it this past weekend. Dang, did I dodge a bullet? Agreed. The whole conversation was very gaslighty and manipulative. I felt like I was witnessing a toddler throwing a tantrum. He was crying, pacing, throwing stuff I bought him, etc. He accused me of cheating when I told him the long distance was affecting my feelings for him. Whoa, which means he probably cheated. He tried to bribe me with stuff to stay with him like a Nintendo Switch. Bruh.
Bro, he can manipulate me.
He guilted me for all the dates he took me on over the summer and in college years ago. Keep in mind, I was paying for undergrad and graduate school out of pocket and had no money. He accused me of never wanting him to be happy. The worst part, when I told his mom we broke up, it was essentially a don't let the door hit you on the way out kind of conversation. I don't know why that's bad. That's good. The mom's just like, whatever, bye.
Mom, you raised a failure.
All of these are technically good signs.
Yeah.
This is a good sign that you made the best decision. He basically said, sorry y'all broke up. Have a good life. Sayonara, Sammy. And to be honest, I was hoping she'd yell at me or bite my head off. Why were you hoping? Just so I could see her stick up for him a little bit, just to show me she truly cares about his well-being and not just her own for whenever he decides to leave her. I'm sad and extremely anxious because I left something that was comfortable and don't know what the future brings. I hated hurting him, but he has inflicted a lot of pain and doubts into my mind, and he hurt himself.
Ooh.
By
Boom.
never changing.
Quote
He had these
again.
conversations over and over again. He's like, I'll try to do better. He never tried. A lot of you said in the comments that I'm young and it'll be okay, and you're right, but being a girl in your 20s is so hard, especially with finding and maintaining friendships and relationships. It'll be fine, though. Thank you for the advice and support, and thank you for taking the time to read all of my word vomit. The Reddit community is truly amazing. And that is the end of that story.
Very nice. I kind of called it though. Like,
Yeah.
he was gonna just like, oh, you didn't talk about it. It's just pointing the finger.